Good morning and a very happy Saturday to you. You're listening to Smile Radio. I'm Adele Clough and this is the Get Inspired Show. I'm a life coach supporting clients to flourish in every area of their lives, and the Get Inspired Show is all about inspiring you to change your life and unleash your full potential. Now, last Wednesday was International Day of Happiness, so today's show is all about happiness, and I'll be sharing with you my top 10 tips for increasing happiness in your life. On the second half of the show, I'll be chatting with Oskar from Bickley School in Bromley in the UK. He's on an inspiring mission to help our planet. Let's set the scene with some music. I've chosen Happy Song by Connie Talbot with Jordan Jansen as our first song. While it's playing, this is a great opportunity for you to grab a notebook in case you want to jot down anything I'm saying that really resonates with you or that you want to think about during the coming week. So while you're doing that, here's Connie Talbot, Happy Song.
You spend all day lying on the couch, walk in your boxes round the house. Look at your pale, ugly face, enough to make a mirror break. More half asleep and half awake, complaining that your body aches. Feeling sorry for yourself won't get you anywhere. So I'm singing you a happy song, just to cheer you up when you got it rough. So I'm singing you a happy song, just to cheer you up. Like bad Mexican, pull up those blinds, let air come in. Your promises and blah 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 won't fix the strings on my guitar. We've been friends for much too long for me to watch you carry on like this. I miss the you I knew, you do the same for me. So I'm singing you a happy song, just to cheer you up. I know how it sucks. Yeah, I'm singing you a happy song, but it can't be that bad. It's better times ahead. Watching shapes in the clouds all day. It's okay, sometimes we make mistakes. Let it go, if it's out of your control. Shrug it off like it's a silly joke. So I'm singing you a happy song, just to cheer you up. I know how it sucks. Yeah, I'm singing you a happy song, but it can be that bad.
Happy Song by Connie Talbot, playing on Smile Radio. This is the Get Inspired Show with me, Adele Clough, with you until 10 o'clock this morning. Wherever you are in the world listening, a very, very warm welcome. We're talking about happiness today, and I'm sharing with you my top 10 tips for increasing happiness in your own life. If you're a regular listener to the show, thank you so much. This will be a little familiar to you. My first tip is about making the choice to be happy, and that our thoughts create our feelings, which creates the actions and results in our life. If you are new to this, it's probably the most powerful thing you can learn in terms of shaping your life to be the way you want it to be. And I so wish that this was taught in school, that actually what creates what we're experiencing, the life we're living, is what we're thinking initially. Because obviously you can think of an experience in multiple ways, and actually you have the choice to do that. Humans have got really powerful brains. So I'm inviting you to be a compassionate observer of your thoughts. Notice your thoughts. Are they supporting you to live your happiest life? or are they blocking happiness? When you have a negative thought, when you notice something not being good enough, when people around you are having a moan, a whinge, complaining that everything's difficult, it's not fair, say to yourself, I choose to be happy. Step away from the negativity. Make the choice. Make all of your thoughts focused in on supporting this choice you have made to be happy. So that is tip 1. As we go through, some of the other tips will feed into that a little bit more. I have spoken in previous shows about how thoughts create feelings and actions and then results. So if that's of interest to you, do dip back into some of the previous shows. You can go on to mixcloud.com/Adele Clough coaching. That's ADELECLOUGH and then coaching, COACHING, and you can listen back. It's one of the things I talk such a lot about, because when I'm working with people wanting to change their life, if we can start to tune into the thoughts we're having and be more in control of them, very quickly things change, life changes. So that was number 1. Number 2 is to say that happiness comes from within. It doesn't depend on anything or anyone outside of yourself. We cannot change other people. I get questions about changing other people quite a lot on the show. Just a quick mention, I'm not doing a question today because I've amalgamated all the happy questions into today's show. So many times people say, oh, if only my housemates were different. If only my partner was different, I could be happy. If only I had a different house, a different car, a different job, I could be happy. That kind of way of thinking about life is really giving away our own power to circumstance or other people. And it doesn't result in us increasing our happiness. To increase our happiness, we need to know that it comes from within. It's inside us all the time. It doesn't depend on anything outside of us at all. And really it comes back to what I was saying about the thoughts we're having, because life will throw you ups and downs. That is just the nature of it. Nobody has a wonderful life all of the time, even if seemingly on their social media it looks like they do. Even if their Instagram is filled with blissfully happy photos, that is not reality. That is a snapshot of somebody's life, the best bits, the bits they want to share. We have to have the downs as well to balance it all out, but usually the downs pass reasonably smoothly, and if we have something going on that is more difficult, more challenging, then reach out and seek support and help and be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself. But number 2 is happiness comes from within. Stop making excuses about what is going on around you, about life not being good enough to be happy. If you lost weight you would be happier. No. Stop shortchanging yourself. Choose to be happy right now. Number 3 is really about the circumstances we are in and our past. I do talk a real lot about our past doesn't define who we are. For those of you who don't know, I'm from a really quite a difficult childhood. My home life as a young child was certainly not a particularly happy one. There'll be more on that in a book I'll be releasing, so I'll keep you posted on that. I'm someone who loves life, who is filled with gratitude, who feels very, very blessed. And those early chapters of my life do not define me. Yes, there may have been some things I needed to work through and chose to work through and make peace with, but I'm not that person anymore. I'm the me that I share with you today. I'm a 42-year-old woman who seeks to inspire others and practice what I preach. So if you're left thinking, there's thoughts of, well, I can't be happy because of what happened to me, because of what such and such did to me, I say to you, all the more reason to choose to be happy. If you have been through trauma, hardship or difficulty, you deserve nothing more than the happiest life. So please make that decision. If you feel something is holding you back, then do seek support, therapy, counselling, or go for a self-help option. But do not allow whoever or whatever to hold you, control you for one more moment. It is over. And now it's about how you think about it. So how I think about my past and my challenges is I'm really grateful. I'm filled with gratitude that my childhood was difficult and painful, because it has left me wanting to stand up and speak and say to others, we can overcome so much. You can heal, you can change, life can be happy. And I know that what I say and what I believe does make a difference to people. So I'm really grateful that that is the direction my life took. And I don't feel like a victim. I very much feel like someone who survived those challenges, and I'm really proud of that. And I'm pleased to be here today and privileged to be here speaking with you today about how you can let go and how you can move on. And if this doesn't apply to you and you've had a wonderful home life from being young, then please just tune into the gratitude of that and seek to support others who may not have been so privileged. Number 4 is one that whenever I'm doing training courses, I always encourage, and it is to start a happy book. And I encourage people to write 3 things in every day that were happy things that happened or happy moments. If excuses are popping into your head about why you can't do this, they're just excuses. They are not real. You can do this, and I really, really urge you to do it. It takes just a few moments. If you haven't got a book, just get some paper. It doesn't matter. Just have a place where you write 3 things every day. If you prefer to use technology, then do that. There's apps available. You can just start a little note on your mobile device, however suits you. But every single day, tune into 3 happy things. Now, this is really, really good if you are struggling with looking on the positive side of life and you feel that life is currently incredibly difficult. If you have food to eat, you're really lucky, because of course around the world people's situations with having access to food is really varied. So if you have something yummy to eat, please include that in your happy book. If you have a fridge to keep your food in, bonus, so many people will never have refrigeration. And just a little note on the word fridge. When I was in Spain, I just thought it was brilliant that they call fridges frigorifica. I mean, that's just amazing. So I'm just throwing that in there. Also, you know, if you have water in your tap, brilliant. There's something to be happy about. And obviously this tips over into gratitude, which you might have heard me speak about before. There's obviously a massive overlap in noticing things that make you happy and feeling gratitude. But at the moment, when you're jotting things in your happy book, doesn't matter how complex or simple it is, just anything. Obviously, if you meet up with a friend, if you spend time in lovely company, if you go somewhere, if you attend an event, if you see a gorgeous leaf on the ground, all of these things can go in your happy book. If you want to, and it's a physical book, you can stick things in as well. If you go to the cinema or pictures, movies, depending on where you are in the world and how you say that, then you can stick little things in as well. So be on the lookout. I really, really do challenge you to be on the lookout for 3 things every single day and to commit to write them in. And one of the ways this is really useful is when life is not feeling as happy, you have something that you can hold. That's why I often talk about having a paper version, because it's really special to have something tangible you can hold. But if that is not your bag, making a list using technology is super duper as well. So that is number 4, start a happy book. And please, you know, share that with us. I'm on Instagram. I'm Adele Clough Coaching. So please feel free to share with me any of your entries in your happy book. I would absolutely love to see them. And this leads on beautifully to the gratitude I just mentioned. So focus on gratitude. Gratitude is about feeling grateful, and people who focus in on gratitude and tune into it as a constant, as a natural way of thinking and a natural way of life, experience less depression, experience less upset in their life, and they have increased resilience so they can bounce back better from setbacks in life. It takes practice. It's a skill. There were many things you couldn't do when you were born that you can do now, such as walking, sitting, speaking, reading. So just like those things that you learn at a young age, this is a skill to learn. The fastest way to kind of become a pro at practicing gratitude is When you notice that you're dissatisfied, unhappy, feeling it's not fair, think about how to feel gratitude for that. That's the most challenging. But if you can master feeling gratitude and tuning into gratitude, even when life is not going well, you're rewiring your brain. We can change how our brain processes things. And it might have got used to being, a little tuned into the negative thinking, the negativity around us, because humans love that. They love a bit of gossip about what's not going right. Oh, did you hear on the news this and that? And I don't watch or listen to the news. I have other ways that I find out about meaningful projects that I can get involved in that can support change, but I don't tune into broadcasts. So when I was actually working at a different radio station where we were playing out Sky News and I was doing the weather, I found it incredibly challenging that on the hour I had 2 minutes of negativity. It was just... it was really very, very difficult for me, really out of my comfort zone. And I had to be really ready with some gratitude after hearing what people are listening to. And I often think about, people are playing the news in the car where children are. Some of the things that are talked about, it's like, whoa, we're putting that into not only our own brain, but our children's brains. Can I invite you to have some short tracks that you listen to in your car, or feel free to play me back when the news comes on? Please just play something different. And if fear pops up for you while I'm saying this, because I get challenged of what if something's happening? What if you don't know? I don't feel fear of that. Somebody would message me. People around me in my life, my chosen family, know that I don't listen to the news. I don't read the news. So if there's some natural disaster coming my way, they'll be absolutely sure to send me a text message to let me know to put the sandbags at my door for the floods or whatever might be going to happen. I trust the community around me to support me with that. So just a little thought there. What are you doing right now that does not promote gratitude in your life? What are you talking about in your own head? What thoughts are you having? What is driving you bananas on a daily basis that's in your home or in your life? And can I ask you why it's still there? What is blocking your ability to tune into gratitude and embrace happiness? What is keeping it there? And if excuses are popping into your brain, I asked you to just label them as that. So to check in if something is an excuse, if I offer you £1,000, $1,000, a significant amount of money to you to resolve that thing, whatever that thing is that is stopping you being able to be happy and gratitude filled, if I offer you £1,000 to resolve it in the next week or month, whatever would be realistic, would you be able to do it? Would you? If I offered you £50,000 or $50,000, would you be able to do it? If the answer's yes, with the right incentive, you absolutely could resolve the situation, whatever it is that's holding you back, then I'm asking you, isn't happiness like the most valuable thing, the most important currency in your life? Living a happy life on a day-to-day basis and sharing that with those around you, surely that's worth more than £1,000. Surely, if you could hand over that money and be guaranteed happiness, would you not kind of ponder, maybe? So please, I invite you to live in gratitude and to know that it is possible and it is a commitment, and that some of the things you might be thinking about, because of course people are facing adversity, people have disabilities, challenging health conditions, challenging mental health conditions as well. But I don't believe that they completely block gratitude. I think that you could identify that sometimes it's harder to feel gratitude, but I still think even if we have disabilities, health conditions, mental health issues, we're living in adverse conditions, there are still things that we can just say to ourselves, I'm really grateful I have these warm slippers to put on my feet in the morning, or whatever it is. Or although my legs don't work, I'm so grateful that I have my hands and that I can prepare food with them, because we're not all in the body we wish we were in, but focus on the parts of your body that work really, really well, that serve you well, whatever they may be. So number 5 was live in gratitude. So I've given you quite a lot there. We're halfway through. Let me give you a quick recap in case you have tuned in and wonder what on earth is going on. We're talking about happiness. Last Wednesday was International Day of Happiness, and I'm sharing with you my top 10 tips for living a happy happy life. Number 1 was make the choice, make the active choice to be happy. Your thoughts will create your feelings, which will create your actions, which will give you your results, the life you live. Think happy thoughts. Tune in to happiness. Sidestep the negative naysayers as much as possible. Minimize your time with negativity and choose happy thoughts. Number 2, we moved on to happiness comes from within. It does not depend on anything or anyone outside of yourself. You're not going to change the person that drives you potty at work. It's unlikely unless they want to change. So your happiness has to come from within. Do what you can to make the best of a situation that might be difficult. And that might involve some long-term planning. If it's a colleague that is really impacting on your happiness, look at leaving. Make a complaint to someone if that's what you need to do. What do you need to do? But ultimately, even if you're in a difficult situation in work, in your home life, choose happiness, and that hopefully will inspire you to make any changes that you think right now. I'm struggling to think happy thoughts. I'm struggling to feel happy inside because of, if there is an external thing and it is not an excuse, what can you do to change it? And then if you set a plan in place and there's some time you have to wade through until things are different, just keep reminding yourself, I've chosen happiness. I'm moving towards a different circumstance. So that was number 2. Number 3 is know that your circumstances and past do not define you. Whatever has gone on in the past, you choose who you are today. Things happen for people. Life doesn't always pan out the way we would like to think. And hindsight is such a wonderful thing. But we're doing our best, our very, very best in the moment with what we know, with what we have. So whatever has gone before, choose now to be who you want to be, and choose now to be happy, and let those things be a previous chapter. The pages have turned, and so this is now. This is the you now. Number 5 was all about living in gratitude, which really ties in the other 4 things. So feeling grateful for the small things. People who feel grateful, people who choose to feel gratitude are happier people. And it doesn't matter what people are living through and going through. Being able to be grateful for the things that are good is an amazing thing, amazing gift to yourself. So please, I invite you to be grateful for all the small things. And so that is half of our top 10 list of happiness. Let's have a little bit of a fun ditty. I found this cool song on the internet. Did I just say cool? Why did I say cool? Anyway, I found a good song, a nice song, a fun song, an uplifting song on YouTube during the week. It is called Life is Fun, and it is by The Odd Ones Out featuring Boy in a Band. If you go on YouTube and read some of the comments, they're quite amusing. It's a slightly weird song, but I think it's got a great message and it certainly makes me smile. So I really hope you enjoy this. This is Life is Fun.
Such a beautiful day, the sun's shining in a beautiful way, gonna take a shower, brush my teeth, and life is ultimately meaningless, but I'll get out of the house, get on the road, top down, hands out, on my favorite song, and nod to the rhythm. The planet is being destroyed by your carbon emissions, but I'll head to class, driving fast on every test till I pass, and my grades are screaming in my face. Hey, 98% of what you learn is a waste. I get to hang out with all my friends, my friends are the friendliest friends, can't think of a better way to spend my time. Your brain is flawed and all your friends will die. Never mind, I'm alive in the greatest nation, so proud of the exploitation of the natives. This graceful bird means freedom for all. Tell that to the slaves, and bald eagles aren't bald. I can live in the moment, milk every second. At any time you could get clinical depression, but I'll just be happy no matter what's in store. It's quite genetic and we have no cure. At least we are young. Life is fun. It goes downhill. We gotta make the most of it, make the most of it, or you'll regret it. We are young. Now life is fun. To some people, we gotta make the most of it, make the most of it. Good luck. Woo! I got a brand new job today, doing stuff that'll help the economy. I'll save money and buy things at the store. Banks can crash and capitalism is flawed, and it's all because of my hard work. And 1,000 advantages you looked into at birth. I put a lot of effort in my resume. Good thing you don't have a black person's name. I'm proud to be a functioning member of society. Finally, I can be the citizen I dreamed to be. Part of the community, contribute with my tax, work nothing to distract from it. But man, I'm a passionate graduate. I could be different and I have career paths to pick from. I could be a rapper or an animator if I'm lucky. Neither of those will make you happy, trust me. I'm able to choose what I pursue. You're a slave to people born richer than you. Then it. I'll keep going in, then I'll party on the weekend and sing. No, thanks to auto-tune. We are young. Life is fun. It goes downhill. We gotta make the most of it, make the most of it. Or you'll regret it. We are young. And still die. Life is fun. Until you die. We gotta make the most of it, make the most of it. Because you'll die. Life is a wonder. You'll never know the answer. Nature's a miracle. Natural disasters. I love this show. It's the last episode. The sun is shining. It's going to explode. Every species is beautiful and unique though. Children have malaria thanks to mosquitoes. I met a cute girl with a ponytail. Statistically, that relationship is going to fail. No matter what, I can find a home. We will all die alone. There's amazing potential in every human on Earth. There's no escape in the heat death of the universe. I don't have to live life based on negative parts. No matter how bad they are, they're just thoughts. Yeah, that's fair. Wait, really? Yeah, that seems reasonable. Wait, but you were just telling me
Whatever, man. I don't know. Live your life how you want. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm just saying.
Oh. Well, in that case... We are young! Life is fun! We gotta make the most of it, make the most of it! We are young! Life is fun! We gotta make the most of it, make the most of it! Enjoy it while it lasts.
If you're enjoying the personal development content on today's Get Inspired show, you might like to have some personal life coaching with me. Just head over to my website, adeleclough.com, to find out more, or you can email hello@adeleclough.com. This is the Get Inspired show with me, Adele Clough. I'm a life coach inspiring everyone to live their happiest, most fulfilling life. And today we are talking about happiness. I'm sharing with you my top 10 tips for living your happiest life. We are already halfway through. If you've missed those first 5 tips, you can head over to Mixcloud. Find me there, mixcloud.com/Adele Clough coaching. Have a little listen back to them. I am really excited to be chatting with Oskar, who is just 10 years old. He is a really inspiring young man who started a school project that got him thinking about plastic in the ocean and what's happening with our planet. And he has come up with his own way to help the situation. I'll be chatting with him after I've done number 10. So let's dive into number 6. Number 6 has kind of got 2 parts to it, really. So it's a little bit of a bog off, buy one, get one free. So practice positive self-talk. How are you talking about yourself? Because what I know is that so often we say things about ourselves that we would never say about somebody else. We would never say about a friend, about someone we love. Negative self-talk. Oh, there's no point trying that. You're no good at that. What are you going to do? Making this little bit of effort won't make a difference. Whoa, back up. That is no way to talk about yourself to yourself. When you look in the mirror, what are you saying to yourself? Because I'm inviting you to say, you look fabulous, you look radiant. Because if you say anything that's negative, your brain believes it to be true. It's in your voice, you're saying it. Please, please, please speak to yourself with compassion, with kindness. You are not perfect. Nobody is. There will be things about you that you wish you could change that might be unchangeable. Learn to love them. Talk about yourself in your own mind as though you are a precious person, because you are. There is only one of you. And the other part of positive self-talk is around positive affirmations and visualization. So the things you want to change, that's great. Identify things you want to be different. And then a brilliant way to kind of fast forward that process of change is to use positive affirmations. So using the present tense to say, I am making a difference in the world. I matter and I'm worthy of being loved. Having positive affirmations really helps. They're always in the present tense. That's how it's worded. And it's about saying, it's about affirming to yourself that this is the truth. I am good enough. I am worthy of love. I am making a difference. That's how we phrase affirmations. And visualization is around using the power of your mind to imagine things the way that they can be, of things that you're doing, that you're involved in. Imagine them going really well. Imagine feeling good, feeling proud, feeling happy. Use that power that's within you to help you ensure that things go well. Expect them to go well. If you're dreading going to see someone and things not being good, first of all, why are you going? So there's some sort of obligation there. 2, set some boundaries about how long you'll be there, and know that we do have obligations, we do have responsibilities, but really think about what you can do to minimise any negative impact. So number 6 was practice positive self-talk, practice positive affirmations, and use visualizations. There's kind of 3 in there really, isn't there? So that's quite an exciting one. Number 7 is be present and embrace the power of letting go and moving on. In this present moment, that's where your power always lies. You can either sit and be frustrated that your living room is a total mess, or you can embrace the power of the present moment and put 5 things away. It's your choice which you do. If you sit there feeling like, oh, this is awful, that will not increase your happiness. Getting up, moving 5 things, it will tune you into the fact you have some power to change things. So be in the present, embrace your power, and also let go of what's gone before. Move on. Yes, things have happened. Things were not fair. That wasn't nice what somebody said. Their treatment towards you wasn't good enough. Okay, why are you reliving it and letting it control you? Now, that sounds like I'm saying it really lightly. If you have something like post-traumatic stress disorder, please practice self-care and ensure that you have whatever support is available to you. Seek support. Please do whatever you need to do to let go and move on from negative stuff and embrace the power of now. So when I'm saying about letting go, let me just invite you to be a little playful with this. If you could think of 10 ways you could let go of something, what kind of things would you come up with? If that's too challenging, imagine it was a friend or a loved one who'd been through your situation or was in your situation. What 10 things might you think, oh, I wonder if they could do this, I wonder if they could do that? Use the problem solving part of your brain to start to tune into options. When I say jot down 10, they don't have to be realistic at all. They don't have to be doable. It's just about training your brain to be tapped into its problem solving mode more. Because a lot of what we're talking about really is just retraining your brain. Choose happy thoughts. Notice that happiness comes from within. Feel gratitude. Talk to yourself about yourself in a nice way. It's all about retraining your brain. We're whizzing on to number 8. Let people be wrong about you. Let me just explain a little bit about what I mean. As a younger person, I was really concerned with what people thought about me, how I looked, how I spoke. I've got a Yorkshire accent. I'm from the north of England. I was concerned about how I came across to people, what they were thinking about me, and these kinds of thoughts that just troubled me and really blocked me experiencing a high level of happiness. What I know now is the quickest way and the easiest way, really. It doesn't initially feel easy, but it is. If I think someone's thinking negative thoughts about me, they don't like the fact that I talk about happiness, that I promote people living happy lives, they find that irritating, or who do I think I am? Or maybe people think, oh, she's pretentious. Who is she to have a radio show? She's like full of herself. I'm okay now. I think that's okay. You're wrong about me. And I know that to be true. I like who I am and I'm doing my best to support people and positively change their lives. So I've got some choices. I can either, if someone says, oh, such and such said this about you, Adele, I can go and I can confront them and I can use my time and energy and I can try and persuade them and I can appeal to their better nature and justify why I do what I do as a career. But why am I doing that? Is my aim that they will become a coaching client or a regular listener of my show? They're not going to be. That's not their mindset. They seem to like being negative. So the most respectful thing I can do is just leave them and let them be. But always, if I see them, be polite and kind, to say a cheery good morning. And I'm not going to invest the time and energy in persuading everyone on this planet to like me, follow me on social media, be my friend. No, I've got friends. I have people that like me. I like my career. So it's okay for people to be wrong about me. And I invite you to try that on for size. What would happen if you just worked out who you are, what your values are, what matters to you, you're a good person. Whatever's gone before, that's not who you are. You are you, the you are today. If other people don't see that or want to see that, they're living a different life. They're not part of your tribe. Let them go. And yes, let me know how you get on with that, because it's one that really does challenge people, and I get lots of, but I can't. But I say to you, it's worth trying at least. Number 9 is a really interesting one. Embrace the freedom of less. Release the clutter. What do you really need? What is really making you happy? Because if you're striving for a particular possession, a particular thing, oh, when we've got that bigger TV, I'll be happy. Really? Is your happiness dependent on a certain TV? Is it dependent on a certain vehicle or a certain property? That's kind of giving your power away to something very external, a material possession. And what I notice is with my clients, those that have released things that are not serving them, that I almost wanted to say not bringing them joy, because of course the KonMari method has become massive in the world of minimalism, and that's a whole fascinating topic which I will do a show on because it's very in vogue at the moment. What I want you to do, what I invite you to do, is just embrace the freedom of letting go of stuff. People who have less seem to overall experience higher levels of happiness. So whatever we grew up thinking about what success looked like is not necessarily true. Sure, a few people might find a particular possession brings them great joy, but what I'm talking about is having homes that are just full of stuff you have to clean, stuff you have to move around, stuff you have to think about, be responsible for, maintain, upkeep, replace. What are we doing? What are we doing? What is all this stuff? It's too much. It's overwhelming for so many of us. Please walk around your home and pick up 100 things and donate them or give them to somebody. I do this fairly regularly. I've really released a lot of my possessions. I've certainly got rid of about 50% and I'm still on it. And I feel very free and much, much happier. And I have more time with my family, less time cleaning, less time faffing around with stuff that needs my attention. Less clothes is wonderful because you can just pull things out to wear and it's really easy in the morning. So please have a think about what you could release and what freedom would it bring. And our last one, number 10, my number 10 tip for increasing happiness is be service orientated. Do things that are meaningful and good and that help our community and our world. So this can be on any scale you wish. People who are giving, who are sharing, who are doing meaningful stuff tend to experience greater happiness. You can buy a pet if that's your thing. Care for a cat, care for a crocodile. No, please don't get a crocodile in your house. Care for a turtle. That would be more appropriate. Care for something or someone or a cause. Now, again, we might find excuses coming to mind. I'd love to do that, but I'm too busy. No, you're not. No, you're not too busy. You're thinking you're too busy. There's so many ways to do things that are meaningful. For a start, you're going around your house with that cardboard box and collecting 100 things that you're going to take to the charity shop, to Goodwill or whatever it is called where you live. That's a great thing to do. If the excuse is popping up, you don't have a vehicle, I bet you've got a friend who does. Get them to take it or get walking. Get a rucksack on your back if you can and take them. Be service orientated. So important. How can you help the world? You can buy toilet paper by a company whose name I can't actually say on the radio. It's Who Gives a Something Toilet Roll. If you go online and look them up, they give a massive percentage of their proceeds to build toilets in countries that desperately need them. So if you are a busy person, maybe you can at least buy your toilet paper and make a charitable donation. Or can you give up your morning cup of coffee that you get from a coffee shop and give that money to a good cause? I have lots of different ways that I am in service. Obviously, my work is very service orientated, but also the things I choose to do really reflect that. When we were talking about how big a family we're going to have, I have a little boy who's 6 called Ruben, but we chose not to have another child. We talked about adopting, but we chose to instead sponsor a lovely little child in Kenya. And so with our available finances and resources, we felt that the best way we could make a positive change in the world was to pay for a young child's education, food and medical care in another country. And that brings us great joy when he writes to us, and we look forward to going and visiting him and being a part of his extended family. So there are always ways to do things, different things, simple ways. Please, please give to others. And if you're in a mindset of, but my life's been hard, why should I give to others? All the more reason. All the more reason. The more you give, the more you get. Just give things. Have a tub in your house of stuff you don't want, and when people visit, let them rummage and take what they can make use of. Even if you have very little, please adopt a mindset of giving. If you have no possessions to give, please give compliments to people. Just tell them how happy being around them makes you. We all have something to give. If you have time to give, please volunteer for a cause that you think is meaningful. There are many wonderful charities you can give your time to. They would be so, so grateful. So please think of 10 ways that you can be service orientated and do things that are meaningful. A really quick way I do this is always practice gratitude. When someone serves you in a shop, say thank you so much for serving me today, and do it from an authentic place of gratitude. Someone who could have stayed in bed all day has got up to serve you and to serve others. That is good of them. Who knows what day they're having? If they're a grumpy person, all the more reason to tell them how grateful you are. Let's get some happiness going out there. Let's spread it out. Go out and about and be supportive, be helpful, care for others, and I promise you it will come back to you. You will see your life increasing in happiness and joy as you focus on gratitude, happiness, embracing your power in the present. I do hope this has been helpful. So number 6 was practice positive self-talk, positive affirmations and visualizations. Really tune into how you speak to yourself. Speak to yourself like someone you love dearly. Number 7 was be present, embrace the power of letting go and moving on. You have power right now. What's gone before, you likely cannot make a massive change to. It's done. Close that chapter of the book. Embrace your power. If something isn't good enough right now, if something isn't making you happy, do something about it. Plan to do something about it. It doesn't matter when you're going to do it. Break it down into baby steps. But please embrace your power. Number 8 was let people be wrong about you. Don't invest your time and energy in persuading everyone that they're wrong about you. Not everyone. The people that say stuff about you that don't like the way you do this, that, live your life. It's your life. Live it how you want. You do you. Let them do them. Send them good vibes. Do what you're doing over there. You're wrong about me. You don't need to engage with them. Just say to yourself, it's okay for people to be wrong about me. There's a nice affirmation. I'm okay with people being wrong about me. Number 9 is embrace the freedom of less. Get rid of stuff you don't need. Start some serious decluttering. Get rid of 100 things from your house. Start thinking about people you need to release. Start backing off contact with negative people. Release and make space for the good stuff, the happy stuff. And finally, number 10 was be service orientated. Do things that are meaningful and good and help our world. Doesn't matter how big. Send thank you notes, write thank you emails. If you get a great customer service, please write to the company and say, thank you, that was great customer service. And if you can notice someone's name badge or you know the name of the person, tell the company. We don't have enough people in this world currently sharing positivity. I do this all the time, just as a matter of how I live my life. If I go somewhere and I have great service, I go and say to the manager, hey, just to mention such and such who served me today, what a lovely employee, really great service. It makes a difference, and I invite you to tap into all the good vibes of living a life of giving. With that in mind, it's almost time to hear from young Oskar, my youngest ever interviewee. They say never work with children or animals. I'm not following that advice. I heard word of a 10-year-old who has started up his own project or business, if you like, and I'm in there. I need to hear from this lovely child. So we're going to play a song, and then we will be hearing from Oskar. He's from Bickley Park School in Bromley. We're going to go into that interview with Oskar's favourite song, which is Panic at the Disco, High Hopes.
Had to have high hopes for a living. Didn't know how, but I
Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated. All tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes. Mama said, something for oddities, stranger cruises. Ain't ever wannabes, winning the novelties that don't ever change. We wanted everything, wanted everything. Stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Oh, stay up on that rise, stay up on that rise, never come down. Mama said, don't give up, it's a little complicated. All tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. They say it's all been done, but they haven't seen the best of me. So I got one more run, and it's gonna be a sight to see. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a dime, but I always had a vision, always had high hopes. Had to have high hopes for a living, didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Always had high hopes.
So I'm joined now by Oskar, who is 10 years old, and his dad Jesper, whose age I have not asked because that is jolly rude. Welcome, Oskar and Jesper. Thank you for being with us.
The pleasure.
Thank you.
Oh, it's great to have you. So you're only 10, Oskar, and you already have started up a little bit of a business. What is your business?
It's called OSKeco, and we're selling environmentally friendly products that are alternatives to single-use plastic.
Wow, that sounds so exciting, and you're so young to be doing this. Where did you get the idea from?
So it all started with a school project called Commotion in the Ocean, and soon after that we watched a documentary called A Plastic Ocean, and we learned about how harmful plastic is to all of the marine life that is suffering from it. So I knew I had to do something. So I came home and talked to my parents about what we could do. So we started to make a few swaps from single-use plastic, and they started with toothbrushes and water bottles. So we wanted to do a giveaway to people in my school with the toothbrushes, but we couldn't get them because they were very hard to get. So we manufactured them in China. We got people in China to do it for us.
So they're your lovely toothbrushes, and let me just share that I have, the way I found Oskar was I wanted a toothbrush that was not plastic for me and my family. I've got a husband and a little boy who's 6, and we all wanted to have some lovely toothbrushes. So that's how I found Oskar, and that's how I found OSKeco. So I've got the toothbrushes, and they're wonderful. They're so nice to use. They feel lovely in your hand because they're made of wood, and I just think that's so nice. It makes me think of nature. So you were mentioning, obviously, that's really good for the ocean. What's the problem with us having plastic, Oskar? What happens if we all just use plastic and we throw it away? Why is that a problem?
Because it never disappears. It breaks down after hundreds and hundreds of years. Then it's still on the planet in tiny bits.
And it's in the ocean as well. And my understanding is that sometimes fish, they sometimes think that floating plastic looks like a jellyfish, and they end up getting it in their mouth, eating it, and that's obviously really, really dangerous for them. And there's nobody there in the depths of the ocean to save the fish. So your lovely products are really cutting down on how much plastic people use, and they are very nice. You were showing me, because as we're recording this, I can see Oskar. So you showed me your lovely bottles in all different colours. So not only are they kind to the planet, but they're really very nice to look at as well. So I'm wondering, Oskar, you're 10 years old, you come up with an idea to help change the planet. How did people around you react? What did your family say and your school friends?
They were all very supportive. My family, they were a bit worried over the cost of products, and well, my school, I wrote a letter to my headmaster because we had a small plastic milk cartons, so that was changed to a big one, so it wasn't tiny plastics ending up in the ocean. My friends were very supportive, but they couldn't believe I created something like this. Everyone brought something from my stall in my school.
Should we say hi to your school friends who've been really kind and supported you?
Yeah.
Which school are you at, Oskar?
Bickley Park School.
Bickley Park School. So you did a stall. Was that for a special fair, or was it a Christmas fair, or what was that for?
Yeah.
For your Christmas fair. Lovely. Are lots of your friends using your toothbrushes then?
Yeah.
That is really cool. I think that's absolutely amazing. So everyone's been really supportive, and that's how you started off, selling them on a stall. But I bought mine on Amazon. People can get them on the internet even if they don't live near you.
Yeah. Our Amazon is called OSKeco.
OSKeco, which is OSKeco.
Yeah.
So people can find you there. Your lovely things there. We will at the end, before we say goodbye, we'll make sure we give that information again as well, in case anyone needs to write it down. So what's happened since then? You started off, you got your toothbrushes, you're selling them, you've done a stall, you've set up an Amazon shop, which is a lot to do. What else has been happening?
We were on Instagram, and then people found out about us. We're also on Facebook. And the woman in dental practice, did she buy some? Yeah, she bought some toothbrushes.
And I believe this is Bishopsgate Dental Practice, who have won Best Dental Practice London. So this is not just any dentist, this is a dentist who obviously people really like, and they're endorsing your toothbrushes. And that's really lovely, because if somebody hasn't tried a toothbrush, a manual toothbrush, it's really nice if a dentist can say that it's good for our teeth. And I know from being on your Instagram, other people are saying nice things as well. So you've got some customers who are very happy. And also, I think you're going to be going and speaking or going and having stalls in some other places. Your mum mentioned to me that you've got a couple of things coming up. So Oskar, where are you going to be going next?
Chislehurst Rocks and a place called Down Festival.
And what will you do there? Are you going to be letting people look at your products and try them and buy them?
Yeah.
Great. So you're really getting out there and letting people have a look. That's fabulous. So I wonder, how does it feel to be making a positive difference to our beautiful planet? How do you feel?
I feel really good, because I'm supporting the marine life who are suffering out there, and there's no planet B, I think to myself. So we need to look after our planet.
This is it, isn't it? We have to take good care. And I think hearing young people like you, children and young people speaking, is really lovely, because so often grown-ups are talking about things and getting a little bit cross. But I think hearing a child talking about how important it is to them is very nice. It's very encouraging. You've inspired me, Oskar. I am 42 years old, and you've inspired me to want to talk about you and talk about what you're doing, and make sure my friends are making kind choices and not using lots of single-use plastic. And I feel absolutely sure that anybody listening who maybe hasn't thought about it, it's something new we're only thinking about now, really. It's so lovely that they'll get to hear you speak about it, and they'll start to think, what can they do? Because everybody can make a difference, can't they?
Yeah.
I need to know, for those people who are listening who want to find you on Instagram or find your shop, they can go onto Amazon and look for OSKeco. So it's OSKeco, but spelled OSKeco. If they type that into the search on Amazon, your products will come up. How do we find you on Instagram?
Our Instagram is called Plastic Revolution Now.
Plastic Revolution Now. There's 3 words all together. And what about Facebook?
It's called OSKeco.
OSKeco on Amazon and on Facebook, but Plastic Revolution Now on Instagram. And Instagram's a good place for people to go and just kind of have a look at what we're talking about, because when they listen to us speak, there's no visual. It's lovely hearing you speak, but people can go and have a little look.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to tell us, Oskar? Have we covered most of what you wanted to share?
It's just some people on Instagram have been really helping us. People like Jade, she's offered to make our website for free.
Who is this? Tell me about this person. Who is this?
I think she's just Jade on Instagram.
Jade on Instagram. She's doing you a website. That's so nice. So at the moment, do you have a website?
It's nearly done. It's OSKeco.com.
Great. So that's lovely and easy. OSKeco.com. And Jade has made that. Whoever Jade may be, thank you, Jade, for doing your bit. So your website's nearly done. Oskar, thank you so much. You've left me feeling very inspired. Oskar, thank you so much for your time and have a lovely day. Bye. We are racing on to the end of today's show. Thank you so much for joining me. A big thank you to Oskar for doing his first radio interview with me and Smile Radio. What an absolute privilege and thrill. We wish you the very, very best with all your endeavours, and please do check out Oskar. Find Oskar on Instagram at Plastic Revolution Now. Do head over, say hello to him and view some of his lovely, lovely products. The toothbrushes are brilliant. I'm excited about getting a water bottle at some point. Although just a little note on, there's a slight challenge with that because this year I'm not buying anything new apart from essentials. So of course a toothbrush was an essential, but I do currently have a water bottle that I use. So I'm going to spread the word. Please do spread the word that I'm with you on Saturday mornings. I'm not with you next week, but I am back with you the following Saturday. So I look forward to having your company then. Hop over to Mixcloud if you need a little fix of me next Saturday. Do listen back to one of my previous shows. Find me at Adele Clough Coaching on Mixcloud and also on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter is the one that's a little bit of a nuisance because I'm Adele Clough C-O on the end of my name, because I cannot get Adele Clough Coach or Coaching on there due to 15 characters only. But do find me, connect with me, tell me what you thought of today's show, and have an absolutely super fortnight.